We were drawn to the neighborhood. We really liked the idea of living in this area, but also the house from the front. We were really drawn to the facade, and I think felt like it had lots of potential.
It was a great house before, but it was built in 1940, and so it had a lot of small, dark rooms. We didn't want to open it up, especially with 3 young children. We wanted to be able to see them playing and be a bit more interactive with each other. And we love bright spaces. That's what Joe designs for all his clients. Sunshine and light is so wonderful. We lived in Manchester, right where Angel lives. So yeah. it's nice to have some sunshine again.
The facade at the front addressed the neighborhood and the look of the neighborhood, and we really like the idea of keeping that.
It's a pretty house, so we didn't want to tear down the front, but we did want to modernize the inside and make it a bit more suitable for our family, and we love it.
For us, the idea of having this very traditional facade that almost deceived people, you step beyond and there would be a sort of moment of wow. When we approach a lot of projects, especially on small city lots, we're trying to maximize our space on the lot. One thing in this particular project that we had the benefit of being able to do was to add space because the lot was slightly larger. So adding the courtyard that sits between the old part of the house and the new part of the house, and I was deliberately inserted so that we could draw light into the core of the home, which typically with a house this deep and this wide would be quite dark. So I guess in some people's eyes that would be kind of lost space to the exterior, but I think that for all the space that could have been gained to the interior, we've created a better overall environment by leaving it as exterior space. I think that there is almost a kind of worry for some people that modern can be too different and be something that can't be enjoyed. It's a funny situation because we have a lot of clients that come to us that want to do something modern in the way that they describe the kinds of spaces that they want. They want open plan living, they want lots of natural light, they love glass, but yet it's dangerous to describe that as modern. It's like they're stepping outside of a comfort zone, but it's something that people are beginning to realize is more prominent and it can be just as enjoyable as more traditional space.
I think a lot of people think modern's cold, but it doesn't have to be. We like black, we like white, but we also wanted to introduce the warmth through walnut flooring, and some of the millwork is in walnut as well. But we have young kids and wanted it to be fun and bright for them. So we did try to incorporate some bright colors. And through the furnishing, you can add so much and change it over time.
I think the idea of introducing furnishings that kind of reflect a certain point in your life is something that you always want to do in a home, and so having the flexibility to make change is important. But certainly, we'd like to think this is a good example of modern architecture, but it has a warmth and a comfort and a coziness, and I think that that's something that people sometimes are afraid can't exist within modern architecture, and it's just not true.
Joe's the architect, so for the big picture and overall design of the house, I went along with whatever you suggested. It was more like the small finishing details that we would have some disagreements over.
I think fundamentally we had a sort of master plan that we'd worked through and we really fundamentally liked the idea of. And I think as much as there's the odd difference of opinion on the finer details, kind of worked through that and we could both say that we're really happy living in the space now. Yeah. It was an interesting journey to go through the process ourselves. One, to have to design space that I had always kind of imagined wanting to live within myself, but then also to take on board what Sarah's thoughts were, and also our kids to a certain degree as well. It was certainly a change in dynamic, but it was equally as exciting, if not more exciting, and to now actually live in the space, which is something I never do on any of the projects I work on. That's like the extra bonus. To be able to experience something we've designed and take the journey together has been great fun. So.
I think our house is pretty much done for the next 10 years. And then probably we'll want to change it up again, I would think.
Yeah, I think the home that we live in today reflects how we live, and we have young kids and how they live. It works really well at this juncture, but the want and need to kind of dabble with something new is something that's in the back of my mind right now. Yeah, this isn't the end for sure, and I think there are other opportunities.
I would live here forever. I love this house.
This is where we don't always agree, really.